What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Natural Selection Podcast. We want to say it's episode 8. Me and Patrick have completely lost track. Our illustrious leader, who is the organiser that would know these things, might be joining us at some point today. He's still in the land down under, but he's super early, so he may jump on, he may not, we don't know. But we should be back to business as usual, I think from next week, maybe the week after.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he was supposed to be back this week, to be fair with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Who
enjoying
can
his
blame
time
him
too much.
if he's...
It was his birthday a
exactly.
couple of days ago as well, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how's everyone doing? How are you doing?
I'm good. Had to work, I've had to stay at work today, so normally I'll finish at 7 o'clock, so I can normally be a bit more chilled, have a much more secure internet connection before we do this thing. But one of our members of staff is on holiday, so I had to work late and teach a HIIT class right before we jumped on, which is why I'm all hot and sweaty. For anybody that's watching on YouTube, that's why I'm so shiny. But how about you anyways, dude?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone that follows me on Instagram knows now. I finally had my surgery done on my knee last Friday, and this is all my fault, right? So this is what I thought was going to happen. I'm going to have the surgery on Friday, had the weekend to recover. Monday, bosh, back to training, especially I'll be back to training my upper body and everything, just like, maybe go into legs, like easy into training legs again. No. It's Thursday, it's like almost a week and I still kind of walk or pull no weight on my legs. So
Was it keyhole
all
surgery? Like what surgery have you had?
so obviously I've torn my ACL, meniscus and all that, and everything over there is basically cooked. So they went in, they said the ACL is cooked, but that moment they feel like, because I'm still able to train, I've been able to train with it being torn, they don't think they need to touch my ACL yet. But they'll go in, clean out all the debris, get rid of all the cartilage that are flowing about, because that's what's causing the issues. When that gets caught in the joint, it swells up and I can't move at all, and I can't get full knee flexion when I'm training because of it. So their first plan was to just clean it out, get rid of all the debris, wait for it to heal, and then assess how it's looking. Ideally, they would rather avoid doing ACL reconstruction, because they feel like that would just make things worse. So that's what I've had so far, just keyhole surgery to clean out the knee. But I thought I was going to make one insertion, but there's like 3 different insertions, so they must have...
Well, they need to get a camera in there, and then they need to get whatever they're going to clean it out in.
Yeah, so there's like 3 insertions, which I was really surprised about. And my knee looks like a golf...
I was going to say, that's sore as fuck.
Oh, it's horrible, honestly. That's like when... It's not been so bad today in terms of like usually, but it would just like throb and feel like, because it's swelling. I guess because the blood can't get through because of like the inflammation around it, and you can literally feel your blood just like pumping, and just, oh my god, it's horrible. I would not wish this upon my worst enemy. So anyone that's been through knee surgery, you know what I'm talking about. It's not fun. It's a long recovery, so don't get hurt. Do things properly, so you don't end up like me. Yeah,
I was going to say,
so
getting
that's what's
old,
happened
mate.
last week for me.
You know, you're getting old when your knees start to go.
Ah, bro. Right, to be honest with you, like, this is not I first tore my ACL when I was like 18, 19, I think.
Yeah.
And then it got reconstructed back then. And then I've just kind of, obviously since then it hasn't been the same. So I don't know when exactly I retorn it, if I retore it back then or recently or last year. All I know is last year I went in for a scan, they told me that it was torn. So that's all I know.
Right.
But when it happened, I could not tell you when it happened. It could have happened from anything. It could have happened from just like walking up the stairs or like actually
Mate,
training or doing.
You are a bad motherfucker if you managed to tear your ACL and didn't even know about it.
Well,
that's not.
you know what I think is,
most people are crying when they tear their ACL.
No, I remember when I first tore it. It was the worst pain. I can still remember the sound in my head. Like it sounded
it's like
so
a
loud.
pop. Yeah.
It's just, oh my god, it's the worst feeling ever. But I genuinely do not remember what I did when I done it. And I think every time it's swelling up or like I've had any issues with it, I just assume that it's from the previous injury.
Yeah.
That is just flaring up. So don't know if it like I could not tell you when it tore. Honestly, all I know is like
Fair enough.
sometimes when you get inflamed, it's very horrible, and it's like I think the first time it happened was before my first ever show. I think I was like a week out, and I remember the joint getting caught, the chipped bit getting caught in the joint, and it inflamed my entire leg. and I could not put no pressure on it at all. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And obviously because of that, it was making me hold on to water, and like my there was like no details coming on my left leg, and I just said to my coach, I don't know what the hell's going on. But luckily, it was the men's physique that show, so I could wear shorts and I didn't have to wear my lower half so much. So we managed to get away with it. And then it re-happened again the year after that, and pretty much every single prep before the first show, it happens in the peak week, when it goes, and then it just carries on. But last year it happened a lot earlier in the season. It happened in February, so I've had February, and I was like, okay, cool, well, it's happened now. So at least it's out of the way, and I was able to kind of like just kind of train around it and get through the season around it. Obviously there was times that were like hard and I could not push as hard as I could have, but at the same time it was just like I knew how to work around it because I've been used to it for the last 4 seasons or so. So yeah, it's just been
you know your body now.
Yeah, really. So I could not tell you when I did it, but if it happened, I can guarantee it probably happened from doing like stupid heavy leg extensions. That's probably what's happened for us, caused it. Because that's the only movement that would usually trigger it, I think.
Well, I think I told you a few weeks ago about like my niggly elbow. Like, touch wood. That seems to have resolved itself now. Like, this is the first 2 weeks in a row now I've been able to train where it's been completely pain-free. I can do overhead tricep work again now when it gets through that full range without like any pain. And now it's just a case of, right, don't go mad. Because it's still not... I know it's not going to be 100%, but it's nice because I'm due to be starting a mini cut any day. We said May. I've got to get my check-in, see how things are sitting, and then, probably try and pull off 4-5 kilos, get back down to 70. Okay. So I tend to ping pong between 70 and 75 in an off-season.
Right. Yeah.
Or just with everything that's been going on work-wise and everything recently, we should really have started a mini cut like a month ago. Timing wasn't right. So it was just one of those things of, right, pull food back to maintenance, still training hard, just no extra kind of like cardio, and then when I'm ready to put the foot down, it'll literally just be in, out, get that 4 or 5 kilos off as quickly as possible, and then back to the building phase to hopefully compete next year. Yeah,
that's good. Because I pretty much had the same thing planned for me. So last week was when I started my mini cut to kind of pull back down to 80, because I'm around about 87 at the moment. So the plan was like do a little like 4-week like big dig, pull it back down, maintain it for a little bit, and then push back up again. Like same kind of mindset with it all. And then we started last week, and obviously this happened, and I was like, this is worst timing ever. Like, so I couldn't eat majority of my food because over the weekend, every time I tried to eat something, I wanted to throw up because of the medication, and which was not nice. Horrible feeling. And then ever since then, I've just been on myself. I've done fuck all. So I've done I think the most steps I've done the last week is probably about 100 steps, just hobbling around from my living room to the bathroom, or from my living room to the bedroom.
You even got on the bike?
Bro, I cannot even stand on 2 legs right now. Yeah. That's how bad it is.
So I go in the shower. It's low impact, isn't it?
I go to the shower and I have to use these two. Yeah, that's how I get by in the house. Like, I cannot even do that. But to let the whole entire world know, I am no longer Natty. As I was injected with like steroids over the weekend with the whole surgery thing. So yeah, I guess it's official. I'm no longer Natty. So here we go. I'm a big Natty now.
I was going to say, so I was going to say they've started it now. He's just going to start.
Just now, so I might just
I was asleep when it happened. Oh no!
I didn't know about it. They just started it. So if the doctor started it, then I just got to carry on with it. So yeah, just letting you all know, it was not intentional. I just fell on a needle.
Yeah, accidental. Like Mike O'Hearn.
I accidentally fell on a needle. That's what happened, guys. So yeah, I am no longer Natty, guys. That's where things are.
So something big that was announced kind of like over the weekend. WNBF have put out their new criteria. I believe most of it stayed similar, but they've made some tweaks to bikini and to classic physique. I think it's, from what I've read into it, it looks like what we were being told at Worlds in terms of the criteria, but it looks like they've now solidified it. So it's the same across the federations, because obviously for those guys that might not have competed with the WNBF, you've got like the parent federation, which is the American Federation, which is WNBF Worlds, and then each region has their own like president that can promote shows within that region. So for example, WNBF UK, it's Steph. She can promote shows within, I think it's Britain, I think so. Mm-hmm. So England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and then there's another WNBF Ireland, which can do the shows in Ireland. Same thing for like Italy, Germany, Switzerland. I think they've just announced WNBF Japan. So each one of those WNBF federations are their own entity, but they are part of a big entity, which is WNBF Worlds, and the smaller federations have to follow the rules that the parent federation then sets, is my understanding of how it works.
Yes, that's pretty much correct. I think I did inquire about this from Steph, like a couple of like at the adults, because I saw it there. As I have a few clients competing at the WNBF novice show. So I wanted to clarify where they're going to be calling the orders, like how they did that Worlds. Is that going to be the new standard or what? And she said that was specifically for Worlds. So, for example, you see how for mandatory rounds, they will be like, okay, go to front relax, then it'll be like front double bicep, then back to front relax, then front lat spread, quarter turn to a quarter relax, and then your side chest. Like how they did at Worlds, they're not doing that in the UK. So that's only specifically for the Worlds, just because that's how they want to set the standard at Worlds, which makes sense. So I came back panicking, thinking, okay, cool, I need to get everything. Not panicking, but like I wanted to prepare my clients for it just in case that's how they're going to call it in the UK. So I started teaching my clients that way, that were doing the show, and I just told them that this is how I want you to practice. For now, it's going to be good practice for you anyway. In the longer run, if you end up going to Worlds, at least you have these basics down. So practice that way for now, and then if I get an update from Steph, I will let you know, we can adjust it. And then she confirmed that they will be sticking to their normal way of doing things in the UK in that aspect. The only thing that have changed, especially on the classic score sheet, is the scoring bracket. They're now rewarding posing as part of the score sheet. So I believe it's still 50% physique.
So it's 50% for shape and balance, 25% for muscularity, and 25% for posing.
So that's the biggest change they've done, I've noticed. So if you are competing classic, make sure you look up on these rules to make sure you're familiarize yourself with it, as now posing is actually being rewarded, which is very nice to see for federations start doing that. I know it's already being rewarded in BNBF for classic division, especially in the second round. The second round just to kind of score your posing and your routine, and that adds up to your total score of the day. But it's nice to see that other federations are doing that as well. It kind of helps with the whole breakdown of knowing what division is what division. Do you know what I mean? Not getting them mixed together.
Yeah, and that's something that I think they really needed to clarify in the natural side, because obviously in the assisted side, the big difference between open bodybuilding and classic is there is a height to weight ratio, a height to weight cap. Like, that's the big difference. However, in natural bodybuilding, most open bodybuilders can fit into the weight cap of classic. So the big difference is going to be the posing, is the type of posing and your presentation and your transitions and everything like that. Yes, in bodybuilding it's important, but you don't actually get scored on it. It's being able to hit the poses, being able to hold them, but ultimately it's your shape and size. So in open bodybuilding, 9 times out of 10, a bigger guy that is equally as conditioned and is symmetrical is probably going to win. In classic, a smaller guy that is proportionally in that X frame, but maybe doesn't hold as much muscle, but can pose really well, is really confident on stage, they are much more likely to then do well within the classic physique. But it means that you have to make that investment in your posing, and not just the mandatories. It's the transitions as well as the classic versions of those mandatory poses. Because I don't know if they're going to do it like they did at Worlds, where it's like, right, you hit the mandatory and then it's like, right, classic version of this pose as well, or whether it's going to be you can choose whether to do the classic version of the pose or the regular mandatory. I need to read up on that.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, it does say that it has to be those adjustments of the poses for classic. So there's no need for you to hit like the traditional way of doing the skill, doing the pose, and then transition to like the classic pose of it. You can go ahead and hit it straight away. You won't get rewarded. You won't get marked down for not doing the original way, but you'll still have to do the classical way to get scored. If that makes sense. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's out. You got it up? Did you manage to get it up? Or can you hear me?
Yeah.
I said, did you manage to get it up? Or
yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to go over that before I go into my bit?
Yeah. Well, you keep talking. I will find
cool.
this because it's gone into my files.
What I wanted to clarify is I said I'm going to play devil's advocate in this situation here. Where do we then draw the line of? Because obviously, when it comes to posing, especially your routines and stuff like that. Hey, we have a guest with us today, guys.
Yo.
Wait, where is he? I see his name.
How we did?
But he's not on the screen. Come on, don't be shy.
I can see him.
Can you not see me yet? That's not a good angle.
Let's go. As I was saying,
how we doing?
For him to join before I'm gonna start all over again.
Yeah, I could see him. Just keep talking
Kris.
then.
Come on, Daddy Kris. Okay. Yeah. So to make things a little more exciting, what I'm trying to say is basically, obviously, creativity and routine is kind of based on what the judges like, or the judges see as a classical routine or like a good routine. Do you know what I mean? So it then becomes a bit more kind of like what's the right time to to explain it? Like, it's their opinion on what they think is a good routine. I mean, so there is no like a set standard of like is there now going to be like a score? Part of the score sheet we say is the routine has to have this, that, and that element in it to score to make it that 25%, or are they just going to base off what they think looks good? Do you know what I mean?
Can you guys see me and hear me now?
I was saying, looking at the thing, like what you were saying, in the mandatory poses, it's saying that you've got the front, right, left, and back side symmetry poses, asymmetric front double biceps, side chests with fists touching hip, classic side triceps, and rear double biceps, one hand open. Kris has dropped down now. And then abdominal thighs, and then two favourite classic poses. So obviously they're dropping the most muscular.
Yeah.
And then, basically no men's physique or no bodybuilding poses. So
yeah,
that
fair
makes
enough.
sense.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. Then how are they gonna score it? Because if that's the case, that they've got to have like some sort of like things you need to tick off on a score sheet to then score you for your routine. If that makes sense.
I don't think you've been scored on the routine. I think it's
You're just getting scored on the actual poses. Okay.
Yeah. So it's the classic versions of those poses in the muscularity round.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much easy. Then that's going to be pretty much easy to judge, because I guess whoever hits the pose the best, or whoever makes the pose look good on them, is the person that's going to get the highest score with that in that section. Really. How you doing, Kris?
We
missed you. Yeah. We missed you, man.
You can actually see me, hear me. I was in the entire time you guys were talking.
And we saw you. We just
don't think could you see and hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was a delay or something. Cause I said a few bits and I thought, it's not going through. My bad. Right. Anyway.
So we don't know if you saw, but the WNBFs adjusted some of the judging criteria, and they've put it out on their website. So we were just talking through the classic physique adjustments, and they're weighting now 25% of scorecard goes to posing and presentation, but it's still in the presentation round. So it's it's specifically on the muscularity bit. So obviously you've still got the symmetry round, which is 50%. And then when you move on to the muscularity round, rather than just being purely about size, you're going to have the classic versions of those poses. So your ability to pose well, transition well during the muscularity round of your mandatories, 25% of that is going to be now marked as part of your posing.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's good. I mean, even for myself, that means I've got a lot of work to do there, because otherwise there's a lot of ground you can lose. So instantly that holds me more accountable to balance with those things, which I think
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think at the amateur level, if it was to go like too much towards, and you might disagree with me, Patrick, but like say like your routine was like 50%, then that might almost be too much. But doing it like a percentage of the compulsories works like really well. It's quite fair just to keep people accountable.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think the routines should be judged in that aspect, because I feel like it's very difficult, and routines is kind of like opinion based. You can't like be like, you can like one person's routine, just not like another person's routine. That doesn't mean the routine is bad. It's just how it's just been presented. I mean, so that's why I was trying to play the devil advocate and say that they cannot surely score it on routine base. But if they're scoring just on the symmetry rounds and the comparison rounds, then I think that's more than perfect. It's easier to judge that way and make it fair.
Yeah. I won't let you guys fill me in. I do think I saw something. I didn't read through it properly though, obviously. But I've been.
I think there was something
everywhere.
on the what's the name of the news? Natty News Daily.
Natty
They
News?
did a screenshot.
Yeah, I think I did
And then-
see something.
Yeah, you've got to
I'm
go
gonna
into
have a
the
proper look at
actual.
it.
So if you go to the actual WNBF website, WNBF UK's got it on as well, so that's easier to navigate than the world's website. I click on judging criteria, click on whatever category it is, and scroll all the way down, and you can download essentially a Word document that's got all of the judging criteria. So that's good advice for anyone that's looking to compete. If you go to the Federation's website, there'll be somewhere on there that says judging criteria. Whatever class it is that you're looking at, you can go and download the PDF or the Word document or whatever it is of the actual judging criteria. So it will literally tell you, like, I'm trying to think, your attire, so what kind of trunks and stuff you need to wear, how to perform the poses. Yes, it's in text format. They all have little pictures next to it. But if you don't have a coach or a posing coach, that's always going to be your first port of call to go and read up on that stuff. And then on top of that, it's YouTube. But things do change from season to season, so it's always a good idea to go and check the website and just have a read through, just to make sure that you're up to date on what that federation's going to ask for. Like, one thing that I noticed between the WNBF is the only federation that made you go in the muscularity rounds, front double, front lat, side chest, straight into a side tricep before going to the back. Most of the others will do the two fronts, side chest, then rears, then side tricep, and then into your abs and thighs and most muscular. So there's just little differences like that between federations. So if you know that ahead of time, it caught me off guard the first time I was doing a WNBF show, because I went to go from my side chest to turn to the back and everybody else was doing their side shot. So then I had to quickly like switch back to then get into my side shot. So I was then the last one to get into the pose.
Yeah, and
I think
like I say, it's different from every country how they run little things. So I've started to notice as well, like a lot of the different countries are also introducing like little things like different rewards on how they're scoring and stuff like that. For example, I believe the WNBF Singapore is now gonna give like Coach of the Year awards at the event, and like Best Poser awards as well, which they didn't do before, which I think is pretty cool that they're doing all of that stuff now. So I think depending on which country you're going to compete, make sure you read up their rules and what is on offer and what they're giving out. So just be more clued out to it, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't spend 6 months prepping and not 1 hour learning what the actual rules are, right?
Yeah,
and that's I mean, even for other, there's a lot of people coaching and stuff like that. Just I'm trying to do my research and update myself with it all. So even in like the classic, Patrick, I know you've had this. Some of them, I think most of them probably do want you vacuuming, but when I competed, there was one federation that like told us not to, and we was all looking at each other like, what? But in all fairness to us, that was actually a mistake on their behalf, because I reread the rules after and it said to do that. So, you know, but these things happen, of course.
I was going to say, it doesn't help when your head judge doesn't even know the criteria.
Yeah, bro, like, so obviously last year I did like PCF first, PC Naturals 3, and I remember being on stage and obviously I practiced everything, all my posing with like your favorite classic pose at the end of like the symmetry round, so at the end of the muscularity round, and they didn't call that, they just called that most muscular pose, and then we're like, oh, okay, so we did the most muscular pose like a normal bodybuilding class, and that was it. They didn't even call us your favorite classic pose. So I was like, Oh, okay, so it does happen on stage, like even though you might have the, and this
So
is being
strange,
presented
isn't
by
it?
the pretty much the head judge of PCA, so it does happen on the day. I guess once they know who is kind of where everyone is placing already, they don't really emphasize on like doing things properly, I guess. But it was very
Yeah.
strange. We was all stood and thinking, wait, what? Okay, cool. We just do most muscular, and it's like we did it expecting to
Did
call
you
out favorite
see?
classic calls. Go on.
Did you see that thing from the PCAA? Two separate athletes got caught out in the first timer show because they weren't first timer athletes.
Wait, there was
On
two.
both
I
of,
thought there was only
there
one.
was two. No, there was
Oh,
two. There was one day, and then the next day there was another one as well. So
I think the only
I
time the first time is dead obvious, right? But I have seen across some different federations they call novice people different. So
yeah.
that's the only time there can be some blurriness. But listen, if you've ever competed and you're going to do one of them shows, just make sure, like seriously,
Yeah.
you don't do all that work
I
in the
think it's.
gate. You don't do 6 months prep and spend 10 minutes not
Yeah.
just double checking.
I think the confusion comes from NPC will let you do a first timers show if you've never competed with them. But I think that is the only federation that does it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you have competed before, play it safe. Just go in the novice class. Like you don't need
And
to.
the
If
novice
you've
rules are
competed
slightly
before-
different sometimes.
Yeah.
Some
So with
some
the
of the
novice rules,
novice
I think
rules.
it's if you've not placed in
It
the
can't
top
be that hard to
three.
figure
But
out. It can't be that hard to figure out, right? You go into a show that is literally called first timer show. So why, if you've competed already, why would you enter that division thinking it's okay to do it? It doesn't comprehend. Like the maths is not muffin. If you've competed before, you're not a first timer. So why would you enter first timers? It literally says on the name, first timers. Do you know what I mean? It's just silly, really.
At
Very
least, at
silly.
least, at least they're not assisted bodybuilders competing in natural bodybuilding. That's
Yeah.
worse.
yeah.
I mean, that happened last year. That
Oh, what
last
do you
year.
mean? What do you mean? I can't take cleanse? Cleanse not a steroid. It's fat loss, isn't it? I've actually had people say that, and with a few things like that, like people don't realise that, like, unless you're like injecting, they think it's like it's okay. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
No,
Yeah.
and it's again,
Also,
it's
yeah,
just one of
I
those
feel
things where you've just got to read the rules. Like every single federation has their rules on there. Also, you've got ChatGPT. Most federations, it's basically what's on the WADA
It's WADA.
banned substance list. So if you're unsure, go to an AI, go to ChatGPT and say, is this thing on the WADA banned substance list? It's not a foolproof thing, but I even do it for supplements now. So most AIs now have an app. Take a photo of whatever supplement it is, the ingredients list, upload the photo and ask if any of these ingredients are on the WADA banned substance list, and it will do the Google search for you. And if it's 50-50, don't risk it. It's not worth it, because then if you've read it and you go and do a lie detector test and you've got that thought in the back of your head of, oh, that stuff had grains of paradise in it, you might end up
Yeah.
failing your lie detector test, which would be a horrible way to lose your natural status.
That like we know what happened at World, and it's still like
Yeah.
one of those things. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
Mate,
obviously,
I'm
we all
not gonna
know.
lie. I really feel for people and stuff like that, because like, I just think like I could be quite an anxious person, even though you know you've got nothing to hide. You just like you get. I know I want to do one just to say you've done one, but like I know I'd be nervous before. It's just so dumb, isn't it? But like I do feel for
Yeah.
people
I think
sometimes.
everyone gets nervous before it, though. Like, it doesn't matter how many
Yeah.
times you've done it before or what. Like last year, I did it. I think 4 or 5 times last season, and every single one of them, I was still shit nervous about it. Like, even you're sort of thinking, wait, why are you nervous? Why am I nervous? Because you haven't done anything
so dumb.
outline, but it's just you just can't help but feel nervous about it. So
Well,
it does happen. But I mean, I'm no expert, but according to what we've heard, it was very interesting. Very interesting
yeah.
things happen.
Well, for me, I did mine on the day we landed in LA. So I'd been traveling for 14 hours and went straight into it. And the guy was like, did you get here today? He was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, because there was some anomaly. It wasn't enough for me to fail the test, but it's because I was stressed from traveling. if your physiological markers are off, it can affect the test. So what you've also got to remember, guys, is these guys want you to pass. They're not there to try and catch you out. If you are anxious, they will talk you through, and they'll talk you, right, what particular question was it? What's going through your mind when you're thinking about that? Like, it will just be a conversation. And if you have nothing to hide, then I'd say 99% of people get through it okay. The 1% where it is a bit 50-50, either they have done something and they've got something to hide, or they're just ridiculously nervous about something because it might be the first time they've ever done one.
Yeah.
Is it the most foolproof way?
It's hard one.
Probably not, but it's how else can they check for, I think, is it 7 years drug-free with the WNBF? Like, at the end of the day, most stuff can be out of your system in a month, 3 months max. So if you've blasted gear all through your off season and then suddenly you've gone into prep and you're not taking anything more, a urine test isn't going to be able to find out that you've been 7 years drug free.
Yeah.
I think the only other way that they could do it was if they were testing most athletes in the off season, but it's financially not realistic for them to be able to do that.
I think it's a bit of like tough love, isn't it? It's like you'd sit there and feel for the one person out of the 1,000, but it's one of the things that just has to be done, and unfortunately you might get the 1% here and there get caught out unfairly, but also the only way of really catching more people out fairly, it's just part of it.
I mean, I heard a story that
bodybuilding gets bigger.
Yeah, I heard a story that happened in the Dubai show as well. But the guy that got caught was like, he got caught, oh yeah, he knew he took it, but he was doing it to see if they will catch him, which made no sense to me why he would pay all that money to then just go and get waste all that money. I mean, like, he was expecting to get caught, but he still went and did it. So I'm like, so what's the fucking point behind this? I guess, I don't know, maybe he was doing like some sort of like documentary or trying to see if it's real and they can test it and find out. But yeah, I did hear about someone getting caught by in Dubai as well, which is very, very strange. So it does happen.
There's one person. There was one person, I don't actually think I follow him, but I did see a few bits where he got caught out, and I think he had like a good coaching business and stuff like that, and like obviously that took a hit, but he like basically paid for another test the next day, and he did loads of other stuff to basically show that he was caught out like falsely. I'm not really sure what the outcome was. You know what, I don't even know if it was bodybuilding.
I think I know who you're talking about. Was it men's physique guy? It's coached by AJ, isn't it?
Was it the one
last year?
One.
Yeah.
And when someone goes through all of that, you want to, I don't know, I just believe in efficacy. Like, you know, some people are scumbags, but when someone's going through all of that, you just think, man,
why would they go to all that effort?
You put for natural bodybuilding where no one really cares if you win anyway. You're not like an Olympic athlete, you're not on for money. There's a line sometimes in it, I don't know. But
yeah, I mean like, if let's say I went to like get tested and then I came out positive, I would obviously I would want to prove that I am.
Yeah,
I mean,
next day I'll do something.
But I guess if you like, because it's not just the fact you've been caught, your name and your brand that you're trying to build, that will obviously be tarnished after that. So if it's your business, then it makes sense for you to chase and make sure you can clear your name and like prove that you are innocent in that aspect. So I do understand. I would probably go for the same effort if something came out like that and it was wrong. I'm just saying, let you know, keeping you up to date, Kris. I am no longer Natty. They injected me with steroids.
You already taken the steps.
They injected me with steroids over the weekend when I had my surgery. So technically, I am no longer Natty. I'm gonna have to tell Steph.
What? This is the. Have you already spoke about this on the podcast? Then when you going over stuff?
Yeah, we talked about myself, and Donald talked about it a few weeks ago.
Last night.
Because there was one of the questions.
I'll drop you a message and we'll catch up. How are you doing post it though?
Yeah. No, we will catch up properly when you're free and that. But we've got quite a few questions.
Colleague friends coming to Australia to do a semester abroad.
Close off this session anyway.
Okay.
She asked
All
if
right, wicked.
So I'll go through the questions and get them out, and then we can start.
As a contact, in Sydney.
We had a few last week as well. So, 100 people, blah blah blah. What do you know? You know done already. Right. So they said, who are the top 5 bodybuilders that you look up to and inspire the most?
We can't do top 5 each. That's going to take us hours.
let's just say, I
You
guess
know
we can
what?
just say
Who I
maybe.
saw a picture of recently that I'd completely forgotten about, because they were comparing him to Arnold, Frank Zane. I think
Okay.
his physique is insane. Like, to say that was in the 70s, but he didn't really get a look in because he was a smaller guy. In terms of, like, what I would class as, like, a classic physique, I look at that and I go, that's what I would class as a classic physique.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd think that's just like aesthetics almost, which obviously does blur into classic.
What about yours? Who's your favourite bodybuilder?
I'll give, for open bodybuilding, I like Patrick Moore. I really like him. I think he's underrated. I think he's just got his shape. Even when he got that much mass, it looks beautiful, and that is the first thing that is important to me. Classic, I like Logan Franklin. I think if I could have the physique on stage, it would be his. And then one other guy that I want to mention, actually, I wouldn't say he's in my top 5, but someone who's on the radar, and I think you mentioned it, Patrick. You know the French natural guy, I can't even remember his name, who's got assistant now.
Oh, Samuel. Samuel, yeah.
Bro, he just looks like, to me, everything a bodybuilder should. Like, he's almost like reliving the 90s with that classic look, just living bodybuilding, having fun, having a laugh. Like, when I look at him, I'm like, that looks fun. Like, I want to do that. That's for me what bodybuilding should be. Is like, you see something, you think, I want to do that, not like all the bad side of it. He just promotes. Obviously, he showcases what it takes, but I don't know. I think there's so many things in bodybuilding now that just pull it down rather than like bring it up. It's like, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. He seems like he's just living the life, doing bodybuilding the way he wants to do it, and it's going well. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Actually, I have to agree with you. He's done. I think he represents natural bodybuilding very, very well. And then now that he's gone assisted, he's kind of carried on.
Ridiculous. Oh my god.
Same style. It's very, very nice to watch his progress and be a lot of times when people transition from natural to gone assisted, it's not such. It doesn't always go that way, I guess. But for him, I feel like he's done it very well and he's done it the right way. So kudos to him. He's a very, very great athlete, and he just looks it like. I think he did like his routine. His last show, this routine. His routine was his dad's old routine. He just reinvented it for this last show, which is pretty cool to watch and follow the story all the way through. So yeah, Samuel, we're a big fan of you.
Yeah.
For me, off the top of my head, it would always have to be like Rob Diesel, number 1. 2, I've like 2 very new. Well, not new. I guess they're not new. You know the Italian guy. Oh, I forgot his name now. He was at Arnold. He was. I think his place.
Oh, Andrea. Not Andrea.
Yeah, Molly. Yeah,
Molly.
Molly for me is like. I love his style.
Yeah,
I love the way
unbelievable.
his physique is. The bubbliness. He's short. He's a small guy as well. So for him to go on stage like that and like, kind of like carry himself well, it's pretty cool. And obviously the original Lee Priest, just because of his whole. He's just who he is, and I like the realness that he brings to the table. So that's pretty cool to always see him. Supporting the industry, even though he's like not pretty much involved in it at all. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So those are my top 3. We're not gonna go for 5. It's gonna take forever. Right, we're gonna move on to the next question. Okay, so they go. When are you gonna do like a trophy haul video? I will do that soon, I guess. If you guys want to see that, I don't know why you want to see that, but I'm sure we'll get that done. Food that you missed during prep?
Yeah, all of it.
What food did you? All of it.
All of it.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think for me, probably like tacos. I miss tacos very much. So that was pretty cool. That's nice to be able to like eat stuff like that. Not have to worry about dieting now again. What about you?
For me, it's bread. I
really?
eat a decent amount of bagels, like in my off season, just because they're carb and calorie dense. I find that I digest them quite well. I have sourdough bagels. I have 2 sourdough bagels most days. But when I'm dieting, like when I've cut it out for a little while, if I have like a cheat meal and it's got bread in it, I just blow it out. Whereas in the off season, I just seem to cope with it better. So yeah, bread.
Fair.
I think for me, it weren't. Sorry, I'll quickly say something. It weren't a specific food, but it was actually just the crunch texture. If that's even a texture or the crunch sensation, because everything I ate was always soft. Like didn't have anything like that crunch. I don't know. I could have probably added that in, but like you just said, you're picking food sources that work. You know, more high volume, high satiation, and that usually isn't crunch stuff. So
yeah, and this is off topic, by the way. Well, I guess it's part of what we're talking about. I had like someone ask me this morning how how do I deal with cravings during like a cut? And I don't know if you guys have anything, just any specific ways to deal with it, but I just wanted to say this in case anyone's listening, they want to help a little bit of advice. The way I see cravings is just like a temporary fix. Like it's not gonna fix your hunger over a prep or like on a diet phase. So why giving so early to something so minimal that's not gonna make no difference to you, but it's gonna jeopardize the look that you're trying to get at the end of the cut. So when you get cravings, just don't be a bitch. It's just like it makes no difference to your life if you have it or not. If you have it, so don't give into it. It's just gonna stay you back, and you don't want to do that. The last thing you want to do is get to the end of your cut and then be like, oh man, if I didn't, what would I look like if I didn't give into my cravings? Do you know what I mean? So don't do all that work to just give into like temporary fixes.
I think for me, what I do, because I have a sweet tooth, is I make sure that what I find is if I've got a craving, it's not for a particular food, it's for a flavour. So if I'm craving something, I'm craving something sweet. So I make sure that I have a food that will fill that flavour profile for me included within my diet. So, like, for example, as I crave sweet stuff, and I normally get a craving for sweet stuff at like 8 p.m. So my final meal is Greek yogurt mixed with protein with some berries and some dark chocolate on it, because then that hits all the flavour profiles of a craving, any of the cravings, because it's got sweet, it's got bitter, it's got a little bit of salt in there. So because I hit all of those flavour profiles in one meal that I'm having, the last thing that I have before bed, I can put off, if I get, say, a sugar craving at lunchtime, I'm not going to eat that sweet thing there because I have my meal at the end of the night that I know is going to satisfy that craving. So if you struggle with it, there are ways you can build stuff into your diet that help you say no to when something is presented to you like in the moment, because you know, right, I've planned for that thing in the evening.
Yeah, I agree. That always helps. Next question is, would any of you guys consider hopping on? We've answered this already before in the previous course. I don't want to waste any time with that today. Biggest thing about bodybuilding or the industry? Biggest thing you hate about bodybuilding and the industry?
For me, my personal pet peeve right now is people that have made a career through bodybuilding, then leave the sport and shit on the sport.
Yeah, that's
that winds me up more than anything else, because you wouldn't have the platform that you've got without the sport. So why are you then leaving it and then shitting all over it? Right, if you've left it with bad blood or whatever it is, that's your choice, that's your decision. There are people that were inside it, there are people that are following you right now because of what you did within it. So if you've been successful in it, like, why are you not an ambassador for the thing that's made you successful?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that there's been so many stuff come up this like past couple of weeks, especially with like PTSD and all the stuff like that with bodybuilding, and you think, bro, what are you on about? Like, are you saying this now because you're not involved in it so much, or what are you trying to kind of do? I'm seeing too many of this lately, which is kind of like, I think it's very embarrassing to see, like, for people to carry themselves that way. I don't know what the reason. I'm not saying I don't believe them.
I think if somebody's saying they've got PTSD from bodybuilding, they already had unresolved trauma, and they used bodybuilding as a band-aid for that. They never dealt with the trauma. So in that case, yes, bodybuilding is probably not a healthy outlet for that, but you chose to use this thing as that band-aid. It probably wasn't the sport itself that's giving you PTSD, because you've volunteered to do it. Nobody's put a gun to your head and said you're going to diet for 18 weeks. Like, at any point, if you're dieting, you can pull the plug on it. Nobody's forcing you to do it. You're choosing to do it. You are an adult.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree. Yeah, I think anything that's like, for me, I think it's for me in bodybuilding, like just bodybuilding fitness in general. I think one thing that's really, it's like pet peeve of mine at the moment is when seeing people trying to use their sexual agenda, like sexual background, to kind of promote, to get clients and stuff like that. Because I think the most recent one I saw today, which I could not stop laughing, I thought it was hilarious. At first I thought it was just a joke, But then I went on the guy's page and it's literally all his content's like that. It's going, if you're a gay man and you want to get in shape, this is what you should eat, not this. And then they'll be like, if you're a gay man, don't want to hurt yourself doing shoulder presses, this is how you should be pressing. I'm like, wait, what? I'm just thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, it's actually such a joke.
He's niched down to being gay.
He's niched down.
Like,
don't do this with your strikes, it won't work.
But, and I'm not sitting there thinking, wait, does that mean that I've been training gay the whole time? Because this is how I train. Bro, and this is what I eat. So I'm just like thinking, what the hell is going on, man? Like, when did doing all of this stuff become like, you had to be gay to do it that way, or you have to be a lesbian to do it? I think there was like one that went viral last year, which was like about a lesbian doing the same thing in the States. And now I'm seeing this, I'm just thinking, people are like doing anything now just to try and pick up clients. Like, if you come across anyone like that, please slap them and do not believe anything they say. Like, it's just stupid. It's just a marketing.
He's done a business coaching course, and they're like, right, you need to pick a niche, and he's like,
yeah,
I know.
Bro, I could not believe it. I went on this page, like, he was literally sat on his doing a shoulder press, because if you're gay and you don't want to get hurt doing a shoulder press, do it this way. If you do it that way, you're gonna get hurt. And I'm saying, wait, but that's how you're supposed to do a shoulder press anyway. So does that mean like everyone that does it properly is gay then, or what? What the fuck is going on? Like, it was so baffling, man. Mate, these people, too much, man, too much. But yeah, so what about you? What about you? Anything, Kris?
I think for me, it's everyone almost policing bodybuilding. Like, someone does something one way and then people follow the trend, which is nothing wrong with that. But and then you doing stuff another way as well. Like, I think the older I get and the more mature I get, the more I realise there is not as much right and wrong. There's someone who does every single thing and still gets amazing results. And it's fine for you to believe that you have your way for your reasons. You know, if you're a coach, then obviously you're going to give people them, but just let people do their thing. Like, if someone's twice the size of you and doing something you think shit, then you still can't say fuck all. You know, and I can sit here and say that I see people do things that I think are shit, but they're twice the size of me, so like, how can I say it?
Yeah, there's never one way up.
Just let people do their own thing, man. Like, yeah, unless if people come to you and whatever, then fine, but like, it's not as black and white as this is right and this is wrong.
Yeah.
Most.
I have to agree with that. Right, I'm going to move on quickly to our next question because we ran out of time. Did you always know you was going to compete one day, or did you just fall into it?
Good question.
For me, it was definitely a tick box thing. Like, I was like, if I didn't compete at some point, then I'd regret it my whole life. So I knew I was going to do it at least once.
I think for me, I followed assisted bodybuilding when I was playing rugby. So when I was 16, 17, obviously everybody used to watch those like original Ronnie Coleman films on YouTube where, yeah, buddy, like that sort of stuff. Bought a Flex magazine and stuff, and all my family were like, you don't want to look like that, do you? I was like, no. I didn't know about natural bodybuilding until I was probably in my mid-20s, and it's only because I stopped playing rugby and I was looking for something else to fill that gap for me as an athlete, and then I found then natural bodybuilding and went, this looks like fun, and kind of then I need something to train towards. Then I just, right, fuck it, let's compete. So I kind of fell into it category because I didn't know about it, and as soon as I saw it, watched a bit of content for a few months, and that looks like fun, may as well give it a go.
Yeah, I think I fell into competing. I fell into competing because I remember growing up. I remember growing up in Ghana, my neighbor had a home gym, which was like the most ghetto gym you're gonna see in the world. Like, it was like when you think of like a ghetto gym in Africa, that's literally whatever you imagine was just like that. I remember being little, and they were always like all the guys in the neighborhood would go there to train, and they were like massive, like big guys. No, so everyone knew they must have been taking gear because they were big, like back then. But as kids, we were always sneaking there, trying like bench and do stuff like that, but we didn't know what we was doing, which is like just kids just trying to lose some weight. So I've always kind of been around bodybuilding in that aspect. It wasn't until my flatmate decided to do a show that I was then like, oh, I'm gonna do your diet with you and see how things go, see if I can handle dieting. And that's when I did that. Went to watch him at the show and said, okay, this is pretty cool. Now that I've seen him do a show, maybe I want to try and see how I get on. That's literally how I end up competing. But I never, if you asked me 10 years ago, like, would I be competing on stage, or even 5 years ago, would I be competing in bodybuilding one day? I probably said nah, because I was just more into just training and just yeah, just enjoying training really. So I just fell into it. I think we've got enough time for one more question. We've got quite a few to pick up from as well. So what I'm going to ask is, what is your favorite muscle group to train? That's from Amel. Amel sending a better
At the
question. Thanks,
moment,
Amel.
back. I love a back day at the moment. I think it's because it's the area that I'm trying to work on. So my focus on those sessions is like locked in because I really want to make sure I'm connecting with the areas in my back that I kind of need to grow. But I don't know about you guys, but I go through phases where I love training like one particular like body part, and then I'll love it for like 6 months, and then suddenly it's like, oh fuck, I love training shoulders at the moment, and then it might be legs the next time or whatever it is, but it never stays the same body part. I think for me it's always where my focus is going on where it needs to improve.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like you
I
get an
think
instant
that
reward.
back for me is always my favorite. So I'll say back for me.
Really? Wow. I think for me, like my absolute favourite. I would say this, but I have not done this in years, so it's not. It's just like if I could do this and take the brain out of my head, then I just love training arms. But I just don't just train arms. I never do that. Probably like a push session. I'm a bit of a bro, really. That's right.
I'll be
Yeah,
back.
no worries.
Carry on.
Yeah, like a good push session, man. Just pump up those beach muscles.
Kills for the girls.
100%. 100%.
Well, do you wanna sign us off then, Chris?
Yeah, mate.
I have no idea which
well,
episode we're on, but it's nice to have you back.
I think this is episode 6. I need to look into it. I'm glad I managed to make it back last minute because I have actually missed this. I am currently in the North Island, in New Zealand, and it was 6 a.m. So I managed to jump on last minute. But from next week, it will be back to normal. I will be back in sunny UK. So looking forward to
happy birthday, by the way.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
happy
you.
birthday for the other day.
Yeah, thank you. Now 28, so nearly cooked.
Such a baby.
Mate, you're
years
such
off
a
you guys,
baby.
though.
You've not even started your life yet, bro.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. But no, we've got loads to catch up on. As always, thanks everyone for tuning in, and excited to get on next week and get back to normality. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, drop down any questions down below, and we'll see you on the next one.
Sure, soon. Take care.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Okay, so